Joining me now, Kansas Senator Roger Marshall. Senator Marshall, President Trump pushing really, really hard on this. And against all odds, I think he's made a lot of inroads. The big question, of course, is in any type of battle, whatever side has the momentum is reluctant for a ceasefire or certainly wants to call the shots. And at this moment, it looks like Russia has that momentum. What brings them to the table?
Well, Charles, I think, first of all, your point right before break that Joe Biden was never serious about doing this. What President Trump has right now is he can take both of his barrels, put them right on Russia and say, we're going to double down on your bank sanctions. I've been asking Joe Biden to do this for 3 years now, that his energy sanctions were not fully in place right now. So I think that President Trump, 55 days into this, think about it, just 55 days, here we are. If Joe Biden or Barack Obama had done this, the legacy media would already be writing the acceptance speech for the Nobel Prize. So great news today.
Ironically, they're saying that he would deserve the Nobel Prize now, but there's no way they'd ever give it to him. So even the folks who aren't fans of President Trump reluctantly admit he's making, to your point, blistering speed on all of this. On the other end of the equation, Zelensky, obviously very frustrated. Listen, he's put up a brave fight. It's been extraordinarily expensive and for money and all for human beings. Does he have to come to some sort of realization that the end of wars aren't pleasant and that he may have to President Trump's point, give up or lose some land?
Yeah, let's talk about 3 years of war now. It's been 3 years, 1.5 million casualties, maybe 1 million people are dead now. I mean, frankly, President Zelensky doesn't have any more bodies left. Something has to give. I think we're at that moment. Russia is happy just to drag this on as long as they can or as long as they need to. I think with President Trump, Ukraine's going to get the best deal they're ever going to get. And let's not forget European Union right now. Yeah. They've had 3 years to do something right now. They have a GDP 8 to 9 times what Russia has, and they can't stand up to them. I understand they need help with the nuclear weapons side, but they really have not done anything to help themselves out here. So the EU needs to step it up right now. That'll give Ukraine better leverage as well.
Yeah, I read, I think Tusk just said 2 days ago in Europe that you have a continent of 500 million people begging a nation of 300 million people to fight against a nation with 150 million people that for 3 years couldn't overwhelm a nation of 50 million people. That equation seems nuts. And it gets back to Germany, which apparently they're going to tear up the Constitution and try to start finally spending some money on the military. But I'm still not sure. Do we have the confidence yet that they're still ready to fight for themselves, to fend for themselves?
Yeah, I remember my dad always saying, don't do something for somebody else that they can do for themselves. We have 105,000 American troops over there right now. 105,000. I have no idea how many jets and tanks we have as well. But this is certainly Europe's fight, not ours. We're willing to help them. Look, I have no use for Russia. For Mr. Putin is a bloodthirsty war criminal. He should be taken to The Hague and tried and hung. But beyond that, Europe needs to step this up for long-term security. That way, it's going to free up America to do what we need to with China in the South Sea.
Yeah, there's some good data out there on just how quickly the economies, the GDP of all that area will immediately come to life in a major ways. I want to ask you also, since I have you less than a minute to go, how are you feeling about progress down there? Hopefully we'll avoid a shutdown. Maybe next we can get the taxes through.
Yeah, well, certainly it's been fun to watch the Democrats form a circular fire squad and Nancy Pelosi launch rockets from the crypt of the Capitol all the way over at Schumer. But it looks like cooler heads will prevail, and we'll get through this right now. I don't think we're going to have a Schumer shutdown. And if they slow things down, we'll just stay here all weekend and get more of President Trump's nominees across the floor. But I think cooler heads are prevailing, and we get this done today.
And real quickly, can the Republicans get these taxes done quickly?
Oh, what define what quickly is, we had a great meeting with President Trump yesterday, and I think we got some clarity. We'll try to get it done this summer.
Senator Marshall, thank you very much. More